Hi, everyone. Welcome to CMO Chats. I'm excited to be here with all of you today. My name is Heidi Bullock, and I'm the Chief Marketing Officer at Tealium.
Can you tell us a little bit more about your journey and what sparked your interest in marketing?
Absolutely. So I actually started my career as a molecular biologist. So I think one of the things that I would say to people is, number one, career changes are absolutely great. But I think what interested me in marketing is when I was in more of a technical role, a lot of the folks would say, Heidi, you're really good at extracting the value or explaining this in a way that a broader audience can understand. So that was I think, what sparked my interest in marketing. It's like, how can you convey maybe something that's traditionally complex in a way that more people can consume and find interesting? So then I moved into product marketing and just kind of moved my way around in different areas of marketing.
What does your company do?
Yeah, so Tealium helps companies connect better to their brands through data. So we have the most trusted CDP in the space. We help companies collect data, which is really important for obviously compliance today. We unify that data so we can say, this is indeed Heidi Bullock, even if I have 3 different emails. I'm just providing a simple example. We basically can take all those different components and make sure the identity is correct. And then we activate that data in real time. So a lot of companies use us to have more real-time personalization. People use us for cost savings for advertising, because if I've already advertised to you and you've purchased the product, we don't need to keep advertising. So think of us as sort of the real-time data supply chain for the enterprise.
As the CMO at Tealium, what is currently your main marketing focus?
Our main marketing focus, and I think this is true of all people in marketing, is really trying to help the company grow. If I had to boil it down to a simple statement, it's driving growth. And that's for us because we're a large enterprise SaaS company. That's net new acquisition and obviously retention and expansion.
Can you tell me about a particularly innovative or successful marketing campaign that your team has recently run?
I can. We recently ran our large enterprise customer conference, and this was global. So we had an event in Australia, we had one in the UK, and then one in North America. And I think what was really successful about it, the numbers speak for themselves. We were able to generate and ultimately influence a large volume of pipeline, which is great. But I think, to me, it was the ability for really to showcase our customers, hear from them, and that's the best marketing we could ever do. So not only did that help other customers who might want to expand or think about other ways they can use Tealium, but for people that are currently in the process of evaluating Tealium, nothing better than hearing from other customers. So I think that has been a really successful initiative from this year.
Amazing. Thank you. And you're absolutely right about that. There's nothing like bringing in a customer. There's nothing like hearing it, not from the salesperson, but from the person who actually bought it. Yeah, no, I completely.
You're going to be honest. And that's what people want, is they want the honest. No one believes it when somebody says, oh, the technology took, an hour to implement that. That's not going to happen, right? So they want to know all the ins and outs. And I think that was a really successful program.
Amazing. Thank you. On the other hand, what are your biggest marketing challenges at the moment?
I think the biggest one right now is capturing attention from people. And I think a lot of marketers can relate to that. I think there's so many options. There's so much in the MarTech space, and there's a lot of people that they'll see a message and that's what they adopt for their company as well. So I think it's really my biggest challenge is capturing attention from the people that I'm trying to, ultimately market to. And, I think make sure that our message is really clear. Because again, I think at some point, I'm sure you've evaluated technology, and at some point it's like, wow, everything kind of sounds the same. And so how can I keep our message simple and clear, but being very clear about what our value is?
When you're trying to capture that attention, what are you focusing on specifically? Is it the content? Is it the way the message is put out there? Is it the environment where you're putting out the message?
All of those things. I think it's really all of those things. It's making sure that when with our message, the thing I always try to come back to is being the trusted advisor. And my angle is, how can we help people? How can we save them time? How can we help them avoid, troubling pitfalls in what they're trying to do? And so I always think about leading with value, not talking about speeds and feeds and technology, but like, look, as a business person, you have this problem. Here's how we can solve it. And then really kind of meeting people where they are, right? And for better or for worse, as we all know, for some people that might be on social channels, some people it's email, some people it's a live event. So that's where it's never just looking at one channel, it's the full mix. So
it's the mixed bag. Absolutely. Yeah. How does Tealium stay ahead of its competitors when it comes to marketing?
Yeah, I think the way I think about competitors is, I read, what they're doing and up to, but if I really take a step back, I really focus on our North Star and what we're trying to do and what we're trying to deliver for our customers. I think I would be lying to say I don't pay attention to them. Of course I do, but I wouldn't necessarily say if I see something that influences the action I would take. I really try to stay true to what are we trying to accomplish? What do our customers care about? And what do our partners care about? What is our ecosystem value? And I really let that guide my strategy in general.
Now, looking kind of ahead, in your opinion, what does the future of marketing look like?
I feel like there's definitely going to be things that are a lot easier because of AI. I'm hoping marketers have the ability to be more strategic again and spend more time with customers instead of, let me spend several hours building an email that we all know how to do, right? So that's really exciting. And I think another area that will be very much the future is knowing customers in a better way through data. Because I think all of us, like if your customer base is 5 people, great. You can have a wonderful conversation like we're having. That isn't most companies. And so how can you respond and engage your customer more on their terms by knowing them through data? And I think that's the future.
If you could describe the role of the CMO in one word, what would that word be and why?
Psychologist. And the reason I say that is you have to really understand who you're selling to and your customer. You have to know it. You have to sometimes know them better than they know themselves and anticipate what they're going to care about. But the thing that I'd also add to that is you have your internal stakeholders as well, right? So in my job to be successful, I have to work well with a wide range of people, my whole revenue team, my customer success folks, my sales team, everyone. And so at the end of the day, the best marketing people understand people, what they need, and they know how to deliver it.
I like psychologist is a term that describes so many professions, to be honest, because really, even in sales, people buy from people, right? So right. There's such a big component, but there's so many things that psychology goes into. And as someone who did study psychology, I can see it, how it would apply and make so many things better.
Right. Because even if you're talking to someone, they may not say, wow, I really am frustrated with XYZ. But if you see their body language and see it on their face, hey, yeah, you might have been stumbled on this. Right. And so I think the best marketers truly understand the psychology of people.
What career advice would you want to share with other marketing leaders?
Stay curious. And don't rely on the playbook that you've always used, because I see a lot of marketers fall into that where they have something that worked well. Maybe the company was an incredible success, and they basically really try to do the copy paste in their new roles. And I just think the world has changed so much. And just as a fun example, a while ago, maybe 12 years ago, we were all excited, great, ebooks or something like that. And is that how people learn today? Maybe some people, but I think everyone's attention's a little, there's just so much. You might not sit down and read a full ebook. So I think it's just stay curious. Don't fear like new things, and keep testing things out, because you never know what will be the item or the technology or even a tactic that you've never tried that could be the best.